Should be sound now. You got sound? Can't hear. Uh-oh. Oh, come back. Okay. Can't hear. Okay, no audio. No audio. All right. No sound. Okay, no sound. Oh, got sound now. Okay. I was just about to write no sound. All right. So sorry about that. That's me. Uh, I've so this is day 14 of my fasting, is what I was saying. Day 14 of no food, and there you go. And I've got about, let's see, 15 minutes, and I've got to go because I'm doing an interview with Gordon Chang and John Batchelor on the John Batchelor Show. You know, the famous Gordon Chang and John Batchelor, which I do once or twice a week. And so I'm going to say a few things. Then I'm going to go offline and do the John Batchelor interview with Gordon Chang. And then I'm going to come right back on. I'm probably not even going to turn these lights off. I'm just going to shut down, do the interview, and come back. Now, I want to say a few things very quickly, and I'll answer a lot of questions. When I come back on later after the John Batchelor interview, I'll answer a lot of questions, as many as I can stay awake for. All right. Now, I put a post up yesterday saying again to stock up on food and money, and that seems to have concerned a few people. But there was no change. There was no specific reason why I added that on, other than I'm studying what's going on 7 days a week, and the virus itself is going to end up being just a small part of this entire chain of events, as I've been saying for a while. The situation is getting more and more serious. You see people talking about flattening the curve, and the curve is flattened. No, great news and all that. Listen, this is my summary. For people that have followed my work for years, you know, I'll lay it out. Here's what I think is happening right now. I think we're in about mile number 2 of a 1,000-mile marathon. And I think that it won't be too much longer, months, a year, 2 years. We'll be looking back and going, you know, all this started with that virus. You know, remember that virus, which is still with us? All the other things that are going on now started from that virus. And so, yeah, Kumar in India, I hope you're well. I know you might have a locust swarm soon, which is, here, listen, stock up on food, ensure, do everything that you can to increase your resiliency of yourself, then your family, then your surroundings and friends. But always start with yourself. Make yourself as resilient as possible. Continue to stock up on things that you need to survive. One of the great things, if you have enough food laying around, is you don't suddenly wake up 2 weeks or 1 day after a big event and go, oh, I'm hungry, actually. Part of my problem set is hunger, right? So you want to, everything that you can fix in advance, go ahead and fix it. Stock up your pantry and really keep stocking it up. And people who say you're encouraging people to hoard, I'm going to block you because I don't have time for you. Stock up as much as you can. And people that are going to, if anybody writes on here, don't create panic, I'm going to block you. And there's not going to be, I'm never going to unblock you. I don't want you around. So the people that we in our community are serious people looking at what we think reality is as best we can make it out. And the best I can see studying this 7 days a week, and remember, it was in January that I was saying, stock up on food, buy masks. And I bought 600 masks in January. I'm telling you now, this is working out into a worst case scenario, not a best. Right now, how many cases are there reported globally? 2.5 million or something? It'll soon be 25 million. It'll soon be 25 million. And it'll soon be 100 million. It'll soon be 100 million reported cases. You know, right now there's 180,000 reported deaths. That's not total deaths. That's just that are attributed to the virus. I'm not actually answering questions right now, by the way. I'm going to finish this in about 10 minutes because I got to do a John Batchelor Show interview with Gordon Chang. Then I'm going to come back on this same channel and then I'm going to answer questions. But soon, I mean, right now there's 180,000 deaths reported, and soon it'll be 1 million, and soon it'll be 2 million, and soon it'll be 10 million. That's the way it's headed. I mean, globally, it's really heading that direction. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's the way it's headed. Nobody knows the future, but one thing we can see is the bowling ball is going right down the center of the lane for really serious things to happen. Pakistan and India may soon be faced with locusts. There's all kinds of other problem sets unfolding. That's why I keep saying stock up on food, ensure your water security, ensure all forms of security and resiliency, because we're going to fight through this thing, and a lot of us aren't going to make it. And the ones who do make it are going to be generally, by far, the ones who are paying attention and most prepared. For instance, getting masks, wearing masks. Notice all these countries that are wearing masks seem to have a much lower problem, like a lot. I'm in Thailand. The medical services in Thailand are not nearly as good as they are in the United States. And yet Thailand is doing much, much better. And yet Thailand, the airport not far from me down the road, Chiang Mai Airport, is a main destination for people from Wuhan, which is closed now for people from Wuhan. But for 2 or 3 months, people from Wuhan were still coming in, right? Something like that. They were flooding into Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and other parts of Thailand. And yet Thailand, relatively speaking, is doing well. And so I want to say again, if anybody comes on with childish comments like this guy, Rob Faith, what a effing idiot. I don't have time for him. I really don't care. He can starve to death. And you know what? It'll be the little violin like this, that long. That's how much I'll care, Rob. Go die. See, this is big boy rules. This is men and women, grown-ups. If I say that is a minefield, do not go in the minefield, and you say, ha, 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 I think I'll just do it, I'll say, okay, bye. And then I'll watch you fly up into the air like I've seen before, and you know what I'll do? I'll leave, and then I'll go to lunch. And then I'll say, that guy walked in the minefield. What an idiot. All right. Oh, what are we going to do tomorrow? You guys want to play ping pong? Oh, yeah, whatever. That's how much you'll matter. You're just getting out of the gene pool. One thing that this virus selects for, Rob Faith, is stupidity. It seeks out stupid people and it kills them. Unfortunately, it kills a lot of good people in the process. It kills a lot of good people because stupid people get the disease and then they go cough on good people. Or they bring it into a nursing home where people were unaware of it because they're, not paying attention to, or maybe they did pay attention to the news and saw the Surgeon General lie about not wearing masks. And so, yeah. So anybody that wants to come on and clown around, just be blocked, and I'll never want to hear from you again, because this is an actual war. And so let's keep going a little bit. I've got a few more minutes, then I'm going to go off, do the John Batchelor Show with Gordon Chang, and then I'll come right back on. But there will be, as I said in January, famines and wars will come out of this. Rest assured. There's going to be very serious things that unfold for the rest of this year and the next year, and none of us can really predict, other than in general terms, famines and wars. And where did my water go? I can't drink vinegar. I've got my vinegar. You know why I've got vinegar, by the way? I've got vinegar and other items because I'll be doing some more pickling, instead of buying expensive food, I'll just be buying it in the markets and canning it up, throwing it in the mason jars, right? So I will try to answer a few questions here, and then I got to go off as soon as my alarm goes off. All right. Hey, in Chicago, Larry. Hey, Barbara Schmid. Yeah, you're right. Can't fight ignorance. Okay, it'll be on the John Batchelor Show. All right, still preparing, Larry. Good. It's the John Batchelor Show. Batchelor is spelled. Actually, I think this one's taped. I don't think it's live. But John Batchelor Show is the best radio show on television, or television. You know what I mean? I've listened to it for years and I've recommended it many times. And so, let's see. The Asian says a lot of mask factories are being set up in Hong Kong. Excellent. It's getting easier to buy surgical masks now. Davis says, I like you better after your 10-day mark of no food. Right. I'm on 14 day now. This is my 14th day of no fast. This is my 14th day. Actually, I'm going to go to 21 because Soy said she wants to go to 21. She's fasting with me. And I just wanted to get Soy up to 10 days. And she did 10. And she's like, hey, let's do 21. I'm like, okay. So here we go to 21. She got up to about 11 or so and said that. So we're going to go to 21 with no food together. And you're welcome to join us, by the way. I may even go longer than that. I may go longer than 21. It depends on how I feel. Now, historically, when I've only gone to 15 days 3 or 4 times, at least 3 times. One time I went to 20 days no food, fasting, right? But each time on the 15th day, I felt some turbulence, actually. On the 15th day of all 3 or 4 of those times, I was like, I don't feel so good today. And then I got through. 16th day was fine. So let's see how uh-oh, that's my alarm. I got to go to do how do you like that? Crickets. I got to go do the John Batchelor show with Gordon Chang, and I'll stay on for 5 more minutes, but I'll try to answer a question. All right, how much weight have I lost? I've lost, cheapo, let's get the net loss. Net loss, a man my size may lose 1 pound a day of fat. That might be a slightly top endish, but probably maybe 1 pound a day. And actually, but that's net. I've actually lost about 22 or 25, but that's not net. As soon as you start eating again, you'll throw that water right back on. So it's not like net. And okay, talking about the world not stopping, there was a mass shooter in Halifax. Oh Lord, killed 23. Oh man, that's terrible. Susan Wise Moore, the people of the Gulf Coast of the U.S. stock up every year for hurricane season. So I'm just doing more. That's what you need to do, Susan. There's a reason your middle name is Wise. I buy a little extra every week, not so expensive. That's right, because then you, as you know, you can get the everything that's on sale and that sort of stuff. And we'll talk about. See here, Andy's bringing something up very important. USA losing 30% of pork supply. See, all these things happen, and then pork supply dwindles. And what's next? Avian flu, and 1 billion chickens are gone. What's next? Locusts. They're already happening, the locusts over in Pakistan and other places, right? What happens next? Another swine flu that wipes out, I don't know, gazillions of pigs. BSE, something else that we have to call huge numbers of cattle. I mean, this is really serious. That's why I keep saying stock up, stock up, stock up. Remember, these emergencies don't come in series. They don't come one after the other. They come in parallel. They come in tandem. They create each other, right? Sometimes, for instance, in January, when I started to think, okay, this is a live fire pandemic. And keep in mind, I was so tuned in that I already had masks. I had masks. I was talking about swine flu all through last year on my live feeds, right? Because China had a swine flu going. So I've been paying attention to pandemics. That's why I already had masks, just in case something weird happened like this. It's not really weird. It's just on its own natural schedule. And so, or some schedule, whether it's natural or not, remains to be seen. But so here we go. I mean, stock up. I got to go do this interview with Gordon Chang. I said Chang the Thai way. Gordon Chang and John Batchelor, and then I'm going to come right back on. So I should be on back, let's see, 20 minutes, 15 minutes for the interview. I should be back in 40 minutes. So if I haven't answered any of your questions, please I see the lot up here. I want to answer them. Please come back on if you can, and then put your questions on, and I'll answer as many as I can. Yeah, Margaret saying, meanwhile, in the States, everyone working at home is fighting the 15-day quarantine. This quarantine is not going to be over soon. I've been saying that for a long time. Or we can just end it. Everybody can personally end it. Just go out, or you can keep your own quarantine going. Just stay in, right? We need to talk about that in detail. We've been talking about it for months already, but let's keep talking about it, because now we all know a lot more than we did 1 week ago. We know much more than we did a month ago, for sure. But if you go back, people that have been following my work steadily will see it's, again, extremely accurate. So that's why I don't come on all the time. You see people that are on day, hours and hours every day. And I have a different strategy. 95% study, 5% say, right? I mean, you have to study, or you're not going to be correct. You might not be correct anyway. But I need to go offline. I got to go do this interview with Gordon Chang and John Batchelor. I'll be back. Mike out.